What's up, guys? So these are 11 signs that you have cyberchondria. Are you a cyberchondriac? Okay, this is a relatively new term. Most of us are familiar with health anxiety or hypochondria. This is basically focused around the internet aspect of it, okay? You're obsessing over your health, you're curious about things, you go to the internet, you search, you spend hours a day looking at this stuff, you're not trusting your doctors. It eventually can lead to hypochondria or health anxiety, okay? I had both. Also had depression, social anxiety, panic disorder, all this stuff through my 4-year stint. I didn't hear about cyberchondria honestly until about 5 or 6 years ago, towards the end of those issues that I was having. But it makes a lot of sense. I guess it's a term or thing now. I mean, we've seen the memes, we've seen the funny videos of people looking up their symptoms on Google and crying and overreacting. It is funny in some ways, but for those that are going through it, like I was going through it, it was horrible. I suffered. It was a nightmare. So these are 11 signs, guys. Like this video, you're going to get a lot of value out of it. If you have any type of anxiety disorder, depression, social anxiety, hypochondria, health anxiety, cyberchondria, panic disorder, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because I have a ton of videos on these topics, okay? So sign number 1, you have an itch, a burn, a scratch, some weird body sensation, a lump, a bump, an ache or pain, and instead of letting it simmer over or letting a few days pass to see if it gets better on its own or making a doctor's appointment, you go straight to Google or WebMD, okay? That might be a sign that cyberchondria started, set its roots in you, because you are not letting things go. You're automatically, very fearful of your life, fearful that it's something terrible, and you're going straight to the internet as a #1 resource, which I highly do not recommend, okay? Sign number 2, when you're unsatisfied with your search, okay, you continue to go to more websites, okay? The first one wasn't good enough. I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't good enough because it didn't tell you that something was wrong, okay? Maybe the next site told you that something was horribly wrong with you, and now you're trying to convince yourself that nothing is wrong with you. I can see it from both sides. I've been on both sides. It seemed like a lot of times that I was wanting to find something horribly wrong with me because I wanted some answers for these symptoms, It had to be something bad. I was dealing with this every single day. It had to be something serious, but I wanted treatment for it. I wanted my chest to stop hurting. I wanted my headaches to go away. So I was like looking for something horrible subconsciously. Consciously, I didn't want to find out that something was bad about me, but subconsciously, I was looking for a way out of this horrible thing called anxiety. Okay, so sign number 3, searching makes you feel worse and anxious. Sorry guys, I'm looking at my list here I compiled for you guys. So the more you search, the worse you're feeling, the more anxious you feel. At the beginning of the search, it might have been curiosity, right? But by the end of the search, you're planning your funeral, you're wondering how your family's gonna eat when you don't survive, you're worried about your loved ones, you're worried about all these horrible diseases and illnesses or sicknesses that you have, you're worried about your terminal cancer that you just found out that you had by, via search engine. So yeah, things get very progressive. That's why I really recommend that people do not use Google for finding their symptoms, especially if you have things like health anxiety or anxiety in general, okay? It makes things worse. Number 4, it leads me right into this. It causes panic attacks. I was fearful of heart disease. I thought my panic attacks were heart attacks, mini heart attacks that I was having. I was fearful of strokes right in the beginning. So whenever I would search these things up, and I was scared of the heart attacks and the strokes were so scary because, they could end your life just like that. They were subtle. So these would always lead me to panic attacks. If I was searching some illnesses, if I was like trying to see if I had HIV, which I did try to look that up a few times. Cancer was all the time on the regular. This would be more of an anxiety attack, okay? It was a lesser form of a panic attack, but the ones that like strokes and brain aneurysms and heart attacks terrified the heck out of me. So I'd be looking at these symptoms. My blood pressure would shoot up 160, 110, over 110, palpitations, so my heart rate would shoot up over 200. I'm sweating, I'm having these tight chest pains, and now I'm in a full-blown panic attack. And then you get caught up in that vicious cycle. Once I stopped looking up my symptoms on Google, I started to have an opportunity to recovery. It didn't change everything, but I probably had like 2 less panic attacks a day just by not Googling my symptoms. So if you have panic disorder and you're looking up your symptoms, stop doing it, okay? I highly recommend that. Sign number 5, the more you search, the more you're convinced, okay? You got 20 results on this first page. You're looking down. YouTube is another place that you can look up symptoms. It's the second largest search engine, so people come to YouTube a lot of times too, WebMD. So you're looking on these, a lot of these are going to have the same results, okay? You're looking at site number 1, and then site number 20 probably has the same thing. Why? Because these serious illnesses associated with some of these common symptoms are the worst ones. You know, they're the worst illnesses, so it sells, okay? The headline sells. They're looking out for you, but they're trying to sell you treatments, medical advice. They're making money off of you with ads. A lot of these sites are going to say the same thing, because they, not just the money part of it and they're trying to sell it to you kind of thing, but the worst case scenario is always going to be the first part that you see, okay? If you look up chest pain, you're going to see heart attacks and heart disease. They're not going to say it's muscle tension from anxiety, okay? If you look at leg pain, they're not going to tell you that it's muscle tension or growing pains. It's going to say you probably have a blood clot. It's always going to say the worst case scenario, okay? So the more that you're searching and you're looking up all these symptoms, you're going to be convinced by the end of it that you have it, okay? That's basically how that works. Sign number 6, you find a second disease whenever you're looking up your first one, okay? So this happened to me all the time. Classic, okay? I'm looking up heart disease, and by the end of it, I have a brain tumor, lymphoma, and blood clots, okay? Amazing how this happens. And what does that do? It leads me to a spider web of other searches, and now I've got 4 diseases at once. Man, you know, I'm a beast, right? You know, I have all these issues, and I'm just on here looking up, casually browsing, looking up symptoms as I eat my snacks. I got all these diseases at once. Now I'm trying to look up my treatment plans. What am I going to do? It's just crazy, etc., etc. All right. So, number 7, sign number 7. You spend hours a day searching. Kind of an obvious sign, right? You're putting things like school, family, your relationships, work, your job, your goals, your activities, your hobbies, things that you like to do. They're on the back burner. Okay, they come second to this. You're spending hours, literally hours a day. Okay. Sign number 8. The internet is right. The doctor is wrong. Guilty of this, actually, especially in the beginning before I started believing my doctors, because you got to start trusting your doctors to get that reassurance to start moving forward. But in the beginning, you know, I would have a symptom or something, I would get on the internet, do my searching, diagnose myself, be in panic mode, think that I'm dying, and then I go to the doctor, I get my EKG done, my blood work and everything all comes out great. You know, I'm feeling fine, I have some relief, I get home, and then I feel that symptom again, and it leads me to looking up things. And then I find out that, oh, an EKG may not be the best way to determine if you have heart disease, or, you know, or doctors are wrong about this, or I hear all these horror stories about misdiagnosis and, you know, all this stuff, and it would freak me out, and then I would stop trusting the doctors, and now I'm sitting here thinking that the internet is right again and the doctor is wrong. That is a serious, serious sign of cyberchondria, okay? If you're dealing with that, you might just be a cyberchondriac on that sign alone. All right, sign number 9, symptoms feel worse during and after search. Okay, if you're dealing with neck pain, if you're dealing with headaches, if you're dealing with chest pain or any type of symptom, and you're having a certain level of pain, and you're searching and you're looking this stuff up, you're really concentrating and focusing and magnifying that pain once you see the symptom written there or typed in on your website that you're looking at. So many times I'm looking up stuff on heart disease, okay, and I'm looking at chest pain. As I'm reading it, my chest gets tighter, okay? I'm reading a fast heart rate, and my heart rate shoots up, or I have palpitation. I'm reading about tingling, all of a sudden I'm feeling that. It just makes the symptoms that you have much worse, but that's what anxiety does, and your body's becoming more anxious as you're searching. So the muscle tension, which I believe is the main cause of all anxiety symptoms, really takes over, and you know, it's going to make your symptoms worse. Okay, so sign number 10, we're almost through this, guys. You have been cleared by the doctor, but you still keep searching. This isn't necessarily like the one where the doctor is wrong, the internet is right. This is a little bit different. You go to the doctor, you've been cleared, and nothing is wrong with you. You are fine, but for some reason, you want to make something wrong, and I think it's embedded in our subconscious. That fear was so strong that whenever this is going on, there's still something in the back of your head that wants to convince you that that was right. And our subconscious a lot of times works against us. That's life in general. Our conscious and subconscious are separate. That's why you got to work on, you know, you got to send like subliminal messages to your subconscious day in and day out, like positive affirmations and positive thinking to change it. But for some reason, there are many of us that have been cleared by the doctor, but we still go back and search. We're still looking for something, as if this happiness, momentary happiness that we have is not enough, okay? Our last sign, you spend a lot of time in forums or chatting, okay? this happens a lot. I did this. I'm typing up, like, what were your symptoms? What did you deal with? What did you have? And you know, you go to forums, all these. I was spending a lot of time in heart disease forums. All these people actually had heart disease and I didn't. I'm in there trying to, you know, talk to people and find out, like, if this is what they dealt with before they were diagnosed. And you're spending a lot of time in there. Okay, some of us are searching for websites, you know, and everything, but a lot of us are spending time in chat rooms, forums. Now, I do have a Facebook group, and people do discuss their symptoms in there, but the main focus is to try to get better and move on from that. We all kind of know that we are dealing with that. By the way, if you haven't joined that Facebook group, go down below in the description because it's there. We are really, really close to 600 members. So yeah, they do discuss symptoms in there, but they really try to calm each other down and help each other out. So it's a great group to join. I post my videos in there, and I occasionally get on some posts and try to help some people out. But it's like a big, huge family. It's one of the best Facebook groups there is on health, anxiety, stress, depression, social anxiety, all of that, guys. So join that group if you haven't, okay? So those are your 11 signs that you might be a cyberchondriac or have cyberchondria, whatevs, whichever one you want to do, whichever one you want to call it. Subscribe if you haven't, like I said at the beginning of the video, and hit that notification bell so you can get updates whenever I have my videos. Like this video if you got some value. Also, leave me a comment down below if you've dealt with any of these signs or if you think that you might be a cyberchondriac. Yeah, or if you just want to say, hey, what's up? Also, join my social networks down below, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Snapchat, they're there. I have a lot of resources down below in the description on things like, you know, panic disorder, health anxiety. There's workbooks, there's books on, you know, how to get better. Any type of tool or resource that you can use to get better, you need to do it, okay? If you're going through this, guys, it can lead to hypochondria. It can lead you down that road of panic attacks and depression, guys. So you got to work on your health anxiety each and every single day. So you need to eat a good diet. You need to make sure that you're exercising every day, that you're doing meditation, look into CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, do your positive affirmations and your positive thinking every day. And with the meditation, guys, the mornings and evenings, you have the biggest impact on your subconscious mind during that. Multivitamin every day for getting nutrients that you're lacking. Vitamin B6, vitamin B12 are great mood stabilizers, so you need to be doing that. Do the things that you love, guys. Stay busy. Stay away from the internet if you're looking up your symptoms every day. And also trust the doctors. But I will tell you that positive thinking is where it starts. That is where you start to recover from any type of anxiety disorder. So I highly encourage you to work on your positive thinking. Get a journal. Start writing in it, guys. You'd be surprised by the power of journaling, okay? Write down your symptoms, what you dealt with. What can you do tomorrow that'll make, you know, that'll make it better than it was today, okay? So make sure that you're doing that, guys. I wish you all the best of luck. My heart goes out to you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great, great rest of the day. All right.